you surround yourself with remarkable people, you can only create remarkable products. It's really amazing. Absolutely.
To me, it's a crazy idea which has turned out to be a fantastic idea. That's what I think. It's certainly not a normal idea.
It was this one sketch, and I can tell you there were lots of drawings. There were lots of planning, and it was just this one drawing that actually says it all and says, like, that's it. And I remember Nour when he saw it, it's like his smile, his beautiful smile, is like say, yes, that's it. And I think that's also part of the satisfaction, is when you say, like we've worked hard to get to that point and we've achieved it, but now we've got a drawing, a sketch. How do we actually translate it into the reality?
I always love to do things that nobody has ever done before. I mean, that's core to myself, okay? What is also core to myself is design. And what is also core to myself is that you have to have the colleagues, the partners, that have the ability to take something to reality. So I bought a truck from the military, from the Navy, a fantastic looking truck, a very strong truck. It's got 6x6, it's got all the muscle in the world. It can't drive 200 kilometers an hour, but I knew I can take this truck anywhere. One day, I stood in front of my colleagues and I said, guys, let's take this truck and use our abilities that we have in-house to make it look like a space truck. And again, I take this inspiration from movies. I look at movies and whenever I see a truck, a car, I stop. Most of it is fake, I know that. That's the movie industry. But now how do you make something that is real? So when I gave this challenge to my colleagues, and I gave them literally a very short time frame. In fact, the time frame was 6 months. Now 6 months is very short. And so they did the design. We had everything on computer, but now we had to take the design and make it real.
It is difficult. It is very complex. We were fortunate that we used a chassis that was a very robust man-cat 6x6 solid chassis. We stripped it down and we could build up from there.
Today we actually saw the skeleton for the first time. All the pieces are coming together. The truck in fact is going to come in, I think, on Monday, yeah? It's arriving here on Monday, and then the piece will start to be mounted on top of the chassis. So it's quite exciting time.
So the team came together and we went and did it. We started creating the metal skeleton. And the industrial designers at Zailab, they actually went themselves to clad it. They learned how to clad. They learned how to bend metal. They learned how to put in glass, etc. It was a fantastic journey. And if you look at the truck today, it gives me goosebumps, and it gives everybody goosebumps.
It's a very nice truck. It's impressive.
Everything here is bespoke. It's handmade. It's like a Aston Martin. We're making everything from scratch. because it didn't exist before.
This is amazing, actually. This is where industrial designers, engineers come together. Just think about it. If you look at this piece of metal, it's got a lot of corners. It's actually very difficult to cut it and position it the right way. So what the industrial designers from Zailab have done, they've created a piece of a wooden jig. They put it together like a puzzle, so that the engineers can actually use this to mold their steel around it. It's amazing, isn't it? I think it's absolutely fantastic.
We started off on our man-cat chassis. RJ Consani then made a steel frame with all its components, the hydraulics, everything moving from a Domex 600 steel. The steel is incredibly hard. From there we went on and cladding it then with a epoxy resin composite with a G-pet in between. Once we've made these pre-made panels, then we would bond it onto the steel structure with Sika bonding material, and then sanding and finishing.
I've been working on the truck for almost 4 months now, and it has been such an awesome experience. It has been a big learning curve as well, getting to work with a whole lot of new materials that I haven't worked before. But at the same time, I love being in the workshop and I love getting my hands dirty.
Push it back, please.
Please check that it's aligned properly in the front there, Rob.
Now it's aligned.
We're not slowing down. As you can see, most people are on holiday. We're still working. Timelines have changed. Our commitment is still the same. We are doing some things that we weren't going to do before, taking more care in what we're doing, but not slowing down at all.
What is amazing to see today is that actually what you had on paper is now becoming a reality. And really there were certain curves and corners that I was really wondering how they will actually get it right. And it's amazing when you see that what you put in a computer can actually put in reality as well. And obviously when you see all these pieces lying everywhere, it's just magnificent. And how everything just fits together like a puzzle. It's absolutely marvelous.
Happy? Yeah, what's up?
Sorry. It's now time for Christmas. Next week we're closing off shop. I want you all to relax. And I was thinking, what should I bring actually, as a celebration, And I thought this is how we should celebrate. We should celebrate it with a lollipop this year, okay? Thank you. And the reason we're going to celebrate with a lollipop is that we blew up our budget. It's low-cost operators. Take care.
When you have something beautiful, I mean, nobody just goes and converts a truck to a space-looking truck. So the project is unique. And when you have something beautiful, everybody wants to get involved. I can tell you so many beautiful stories. For instance, they've got a professor from university that wants to be involved because he will never get an opportunity. He designed all the electronics. We have a pensioner that was involved. He's an electrician. He did all the cabling. In fact, he did for no pay. We have the metal company that was involved, that created the metal structures. And everybody was touched during that project. They wanted to be part of it. And that's the beauty of it. So it's easy, It's easy to get the right people because the people that they want to be part of it. It's a lifetime opportunity. Every single individual says, "Thank you for allowing me to be part of this project." And if you have that, you have a successful product. It's very easy.
1, 2, 3. Output 3. No.
But that's the one I was just doing. Do you want me to turn the fog light on and off again?
Yes.
That's what I was trying to do.
Okay.
My son that works for Zailab came to me one Sunday afternoon for a braai, and he's told me about this truck that Zailab has bought. I've asked him what it's all about, and he said it's for marketing purposes, and he's told me all about it, and we've looked on the internet what a man-cat looks like, and he's shown me all about it. And a few weeks later, he phoned me to say he hopes I don't mind because he's volunteered me to work on the truck, me being a pensioner and bored at home, and they need help for the wiring and the electrical part of the truck, and I said, oh, no problem, I'll do it gladly.
He's a really good person to work with, and we never thought that we'd have this opportunity. He's obviously already retired and all that, and he's volunteered to help us out here, and it's really been really cool getting to know each other, like kind of in a professional environment as well. Really cool. Completely building this thing from scratch. There's no dashboard like a normal car would have. We're going to build our own, and that's basically what we're building here. So small things like how fast the car's going, turning lights on and off, and those type of things. That's what I'm working on here.
There are so many other gadgets here that you will never see on any other truck in the world, because everything here opens and closes electronically, and it has every gadget imaginable built in. It's Star Wars landed in South Africa. It's going to be very flashy and very nice and very unique.
If you ask me about special features in the truck, and as we went along, when we designed it, we realized that our floor was running like this, and that our seats were over here, and that we've got this whole platform over here. And Addine came and we stood here one day and asked us what we can do this. We said, we're just going to put a bed in there. And so he said, no. He thinks that we should actually put some people out here and have people sit over here and look through the front. And it was a great idea, because really, if you look at the truck today, and if you look at this whole front cab lifting and with this turret on top, it's an amazing feature. So I really give credit to him for that inspiration at a time when we sort of were looking at this thing too long.
It's coming together fantastic. No, really. I'm enjoying it. Every time you add another piece, it becomes sweeter.
All that time spent in front of the computer imagining what it's going to be like, and now I can finally see. Phew. So happy right now. But now the work starts again. Now I've got lots more work to do. Which is good.
Today is a big moment.
It is. Sure.
All the parts together, and now we've got to work cut out for ourselves. But really, it's quite impressive.
Okay.
I'm very proud of this. I think a job like this, a project like this, comes around once in your lifetime, and I hope we'll do more. But I don't know who else does something like this. I think I'm just overwhelmed. And I must say, the whole team has been fantastic. If it wasn't for the team putting it all together, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
You know, if you ask me about team spirit, I don't know how much of a team spirit there was before. We won, you know, it was there, but you know, as we went along and over Easter, the weekend, working right through and through the nights as well, eating together, it really, like, you know, there was no bickering. There was just like getting down, getting it done, eating together, and just with this vision, with this lust to make this thing work. So it really built the spirit. It's amazing. I've never worked with a team like this. I've never experienced this type of camaraderie ever, and that's quite amazing. But this truck actually help us to achieve this.
Well, you know, we could start the engine, but unfortunately today we're supposed to drive it out for the first time. But yeah, you know how it goes with this complex project, so I'll just have to be patient, right? but at least I started the engine. It's not the same as driving it, but it feels like it's going to happen at any moment.
Yeah, it's been a very hectic week. We're working quite long hours, and this week basically started finishing off the front cap, making it smooth with some spray filler so that it can look nice and smooth, and before we finish with the final coat of paint. Mechanically, we've been getting the engine ready. We basically started for today for the first time. Still have a lot to do. I think we're a little bit behind, but we're trying our best to catch up.
Well, you know, we are all very tired. We've been working days, nights, weekends, and it takes its toll. People are getting so tired, our backs are getting broken, but you know what, it's the last push, and we're all really excited to get to the end. We're all in it together, so we all kind of, you know, in a way motivate each other and help each other out, and yeah, it's definitely brought us together as a team, that's for sure.
The guys work day and night, okay? But in those 2 weeks, it was for the first time we actually could see what was on paper in front of us, because it looked identical. And that's amazing, you know, when you draw something on a computer, and then you actually, when you put the pieces together, it becomes exactly what you designed on a computer. It is fantastic. So one thing they've done amazingly, my colleagues at Zailab have done something absolutely amazing. Every single piece that they've put in, most of the time, it was perfect, right? So now there we see this beautiful truck, with now the electronics and the computers and the steering wheel in the middle, the gearing. We've changed literally everything. There was nothing left of the original truck. To give you an example, there is nothing analog anymore. Everything has been routed through a computer processor, and I can touch a touch screen to open the wings or open the cockpit or switch on the lights. In fact, I can have a sequence of things to be done as well. So I can record, I want the cockpit to open up, and then the wings to open up on the left-hand side, and even make a sound with it. So very much using our skills of writing software, the industrial designers from a design perspective, and we brought the two together, and it was hectic the last 2 weeks.
It's been more than a 24-hour day for us? Yeah, working throughout the night, heavy kind of lifting stuff. Oh man, I think we're just a bit exhausted. Clothes we reek, yeah.
I'm going to go start it now and see if we can get going. So this is very exciting, taking the truck out of the factory.
We went for a 700-kilometer drive, 350 and 350 back. We had issues on the ways, but none of them were major because we did the 700 kilometers. We've learned a lot. We came back, we drew a list of things that needs to be done, and now we focus on it. And I know the next time I'm driving it out, it's going to be just magical.
I'm trying to find out if it's a transformer or not. It looks mean. It looks really mean.
It's like one of those trucks that transport the money. Yes, it is huge and big.
All those trucks in the movies, transporters and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's sort of like futuristic, you know, it's some sort of guy's idea of developing something that nobody's thought of or done yet. You know, something that can take to Mars.
If you say they build it in South Africa, my brother, which means South Africa is going very far. And
know, we've learned a lot doing this truck, and in fact, we only get more inspired by it. I believe that there is no such thing as this truck worldwide, and it's not going to be the end of it. There's a couple of more surprises I have, but I'm not going to share with you today. But I definitely have a couple of surprises.